Standing in the wind and rain halfway along the Midlands Highway. Apparently, 51% of Tasmanians live north of this sign and 49% south of it. Although we're all Tasmanians and we all call this beautiful island home, for some reason there's a deep parochialism between people who live in front of this sign and people who live behind it, which begs two questions. What is the difference between people in the north and the south, and why do they hate each other so much?
Are we on? Okay.
Morrow, cold, mate?
Jesus, mate, I'm bloody freezing. Fair dinkum. I've been here since 8 o'clock this morning, and my lips are going blue, and it's not from drinking blue Powerade, I can tell you.
People in the north, Morrow, are they different from people in the south?
Oh, look, I think if you cast your cameras around York Park today, you can see they're obviously different. I think like Wadey said, we do things a lot better down there. We've got juices and fannies, and we've got better footballers. We've got the milk factory down there. Mate, we're just far better. And look, the best thing out of Launceston's the road to Hobart, and they call it Hobart Road. So what can I say?
Personally, I didn't go much of an Hobart at all whatsoever. I didn't like the city for a start. I didn't like the people that come out of the city.
No, we're all the same. Tasmania's united, there's no question. We must pull together as a state.
We're wonderful people in the north. We're intelligent, we play very good football, and we've got some terrific looking footballers too.
Are people from the north different to people from the south?
Oh, absolutely. I can't work these blokes out.
I just think up here you've got people who've got to milk cows, they can't get the training and things like that a bit more often.
I actually think because they're at the top end of the state, it'd still be the capital. But clearly, Hobart's so far. We've got the lovely river, the mountain views, sailing, sun, sex in the city. We've got everything.
We've got a greater passion for football. They're basically bureaucratic orientated down south, whereas we're just the hard-working guys in the north.
Yeah, they definitely are different. I guess with Northerners, they're very parochial about their football and they like to say what they can do and what they can achieve, where the Southerners are more quiet and they usually show the results on the scoreboard.
Are the people in the north more down to earth?
Yes, and that's probably just the simple fact that up this end of the island we haven't got all the hierarchy in government offices and public service offices and all that sort of thing, and that's possibly about all it is.
No, all I know about people from the south is they play football better, cricket better, they play everything better, mate. Drink better.
What is it you hate about people from the south?
Oh no, I don't hate anyone more than me.
People from the south soft?
Oh, yeah, they might be a bit.
Yeah, a bit soft around the edges?
Yeah, they might be. I hope my nan and dad ain't watching that.
Except for your nan and dad.
Yeah,
the Green ones there in cars nails, wouldn't they? This who's who of Tassie footy had turned up to York Park for one reason alone, to see the NTFL play the SFL. Interleague footy in Tassie has been played with great passion since before Morrow can remember. I caught up with North Launceston legend Chang Young to ask about the passion and physical side of interleague footy. Do you expect tonight's game to be a tough physical game?
Well, winter will certainly make sure that there might be a little bit of physical stuff, and that's good. I like it. It's great for football, and I think they'll have a go at each other a bit, but it all depends how hard you want to play it. The umpiring doesn't allow you to play it too hard these days. The rules, it's very soft.
Do you have any strong memories of particular physical encounters or any great biff from the past?
Oh, look, I can remember a few of the stuff a few North Blakes. I remember Bobby Withers down there one Anzac Day at North Hobart running through Browning. There's been a lot of real hard fought battles, and...
Tell us about that Bobby Withers running through Browning.
Oh, gee, you're stretching the memory on me a bit now, but it was just after half time, I think. I could stand corrected, and it was just one of the best or most magnificent shirt fronts you'd ever want to put on anybody. Unfortunately, it really hurt him because he was playing all right, Browning, at the time, and it's just, there was no malice in it. It was just the way the footy was played them days, and it was a good one.
Interleague footy died in Tassie at the beginning of statewide, but since '97 the NTFL have played the SFL, with the NTFL winning every time. This year, with the return of statewide league players, the passion for interleague has gone up a notch. So much so, SFL hardman Darren Winter has had his boys on the training track for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, look, they've given us a bit of a touch-up over the last 4 outings, and
as Billy Nichols just said in the background, then we hate them. But nah, look, it's a big rivalry. They take it pretty serious, and we've been pretty switched on this year. So, look, I think it's going to be a pretty big clash.
And from the spectators' point of view, what can they look forward to as far as the SFL goes this year?
Look, the papers have built it up to be a big game, and that's the way we're treating it. So, look, the guys are taking it on board. This is a big game. They want to win. They've been embarrassed the last four times we've played them. So, look, I would expect fireworks straight up there, first bounce.
Meanwhile, the boys representing the north of the map had had their trouble with injuries, and coastal legend Errol Bourne had pulled out at the last minute, so the pressure was back on them. I caught up with Northern coach Kent Jackson to ask if he thought the game had had the passion of days gone by.
I think there'll be a lot of passion. I think it will be physical, but because it is a good oval, and a big sized oval, it maybe won't have clash after clash. But I think if you watch closely, there'll be a few during the day.
Are there any players that might be targeting other blokes that they know and really want to have a good hard go?
Oh no, we'll just be going the ball up at this end of the state.
And you'd certainly say to the spectators that this is going to be a passionate game, just like the games of maybe 20, 30 years ago?
Yeah, well, I hope so, and I just hope that the ones that come here tonight enjoy the game, and that it's a game that's talked about for a long time.
As the Southern Brain Trust looked on, Darren Winter, tough as nails, was taking the boys through their final paces. He told them they were playing for the jumper, playing for the South, and playing for pride in themselves and in their mates. Jock and I both had a shiver down our spines. As the boys primed themselves for the game, I headed up to the club rooms to prime myself. I had to find out more about this famous Bobby Withers shirt front.
Oh, well, it was just accidental, of course, but Bobby was one of the most powerful men you'd see, and unfortunately Barry Browning was on the receiving end of a shirt front that Bobby gave out. The pack parted, and Bob was coming through, and Barry Browning was coming the other way, and something had to give, and unfortunately it was Barry Browning, and he went up in the air, and they just tarred him off on a stretcher, and that was it. But it was fair, but it was tough. And that's the way Withers played football, and that was what he tried to instill in the people, and it was a pleasure to play with him, and a great feeling to be involved in that.
The anticipation was high as the Northerners, led by Jade Elmer, ran out in front of their home crowd. But the first half lacked the intensity and physical pressure we'd heard about and hoped for. With Darren Winter sidelined, there was no Bobby Withers to be seen anywhere. Herring marked and put the first goal on the board for the North, while Trent Nichols nailed the first for the South. And with swirly, breezy conditions, the South kicked 6 more points to go to quarter time, 1 goal up. Jackson told his boys because they had the breeze in the second quarter, the next 25 minutes of footy were theirs. But Nichols had other ideas. Showing his class and AFL experience, he helped the South extend their lead to 14 points at half-time. Meanwhile, Dreams had been commentating from the Triple S box. I caught up with him. He thought the game had been a bit soft too. Do you think we'll see the intensity rise in the second half with the game up for grabs?
Yes, we will. And, I think the Northern side had a golden opportunity in the second quarter, but the South took it away from them. They did a great job, the South, and their tails will be up, and it's up to the Northerners now with the win going with the South to equal what they did in the second quarter.
Who's going to win the game and why?
Well, I think at the moment, I would have put everything on the North after the first quarter, but I'm inclined to think the intensity and the skill factor that came out in the second quarter of the Southern side might get them over the line.
How do you find it here in the Triple S commentary box?
Well, I have the lifeline on because this is a space capsule, and if the wind gets up any further, mate, we'll end up in Alaska.
With Dreams packed safely away inside the Triple S box, the third quarter was ready to start, and the intensity did pick up. With McGregor marking everything and scoring 2 goals, the South extended their lead to 29 points and looked home. But Herring gold right on 3/4 time for the Northerners and gave them a sniff. You sensed that Winter was worried that was all they needed.
Hey, when you get the ball, pick the intensity up a bit. Run with the ball. Get in behind and block. Okay, some of the hands have been terrible because we're just getting the ball. Get the ball out. Flick it out. We've got plenty of runners. We're a good running side. Don't just get the ball and take it easy. This is when we hurt them.
I'm sure Winter wished he could hurt them himself, but in the final quarter, Jackson put all 3 guns on the forward line, Ahern, Herring and Lynch. And after Lynch goaled twice, it was a 10-point ball game. The Southern backline were under the pump and the language was getting more than a bit French. Then, this free kick and resultant goal to Herring put the North up by 1 point. And in the final seconds of the ball game, Thompson took this spectacular mark for the South. Or was it a mark? The North by 1 point.
One more question, Kent, before you go. Something you shared with me a little earlier.
that message to people from the south about today's game, mate.
Well, I said there'll be no helicopters landing at York Park tomorrow morning. But and also, you know, that rivalry. I think for football to be strong in the north and the south, it's got to be. We've got to promote that rival. We've got to have games like this and have a passion for the game. And there's only one thing better than beating the Southerners by 10 goals, beating them by 1 point.
North versus South, and a big thank you to Taz Keno, to Ray Singline, the Robinsons and Red Planet Recording for the music. Well, Morrow, despite everything that everyone said, everyone gathered together in the club rooms afterwards for a quiet ale.
I think that's the best thing about a North-South game is the comradeship that it promotes after the game, and I think that comradeship went through to about 5 o'clock the next morning, especially for the Southern guys who stayed up there. And I saw a few of them at the VFL game on Sunday at North Hobart, and they were looking very, very dusty, I've got to say.
That's great. But you did confuse Stoney a little bit with the Jeeves and Fannies, so I thought you might like to actually taste one, Stoney, and that there you go, that's a Jeeves and Fanny. After the break, we'll be dissecting the game itself in Regional Wrap.